Oh, absolutely. That's my legacy. You know, I don't have a son or a daughter that would like take over the business that I want to like give them the secrets to. It's like impacting the whole business that gives me the most pride. I think a great analogy is, who do I get credit for this? Mercedes or Volvo that invented the crumple zone. And rather than keeping it as a proprietary trade asset, they shared it with the industry because it saved people's lives. The explosion of knowledge comes from, as I did start to meet people as a network, and when you get involved in anything, eventually you start to develop a network. But people like Bob Taylor, Jean Larrivée, Ren Ferguson at Gibson, and I hate to start listing because I'll leave somebody out. Rather than secretive, we were burning up the phone lines with, you know, guess what I found? You know, if you go to an aerospace catalog, you can get this that'll do this. Or I'm stumped. You know, the guitars, you know, we ended up putting the handles on the wrong end. What do you do about that? And that kind of information just led to an explosion of knowledge and the ability to raise the bar in quality immensely. You know, the guitars that we first made wouldn't stand a chance in the modern marketplace. They really wouldn't, you know, quality-wise. But back then, just the fact that you made a guitar was enough to impress people. Luckily, for me, there was no information out on the steel string guitar, but there was a lot of information on violins and really serious studies on violins and discussions with the masters. Lloyd Loar was also doing something along those lines. I mean, first he was an acoustic physicist. He approached it scientifically, but he wanted to bring in control and consistency. This is really where I got my, I already used the word epiphany, dang it, but let's use it again, is to realize that you could make an instrument sound the way that you wanted to, and you could do it consistently, and that wasn't being done. This is really going to be neat to turn the world on, and I'll make the best guitar in the world. Being a marketing genius, I figured that would be one guitar that was right for everybody, of course. So I didn't get it right away. And I realized that as a single builder, it was going to take forever. You know, what if I could build 10 guitars a year, which is not bad. That means 10 fret jobs, 10 finishes. How can you get expert at that? What, 20 years? Not for me. I want it now. I couldn't see trying to rediscover this or discover this stuff myself. So I thought if I could do it as a team with people, you know, people that shared a like vision of this, we could really accelerate our progress. And not that it would be an assembly line where somebody specialized, but only by specializing could you get the practice to get really masterful at something. And this came from baseball. I was a baseball nut. I played on 5 teams a year. And I realized in baseball at one point, wow, I don't have to think. The ball gets hit and I know what to do. And I do it automatically. And that's where I want to be with guitar making. Will Davis, who now works for Industrial Light and Magic, you know, the film company, he had a woodworking background. He was a repairman in a local music store. And he had a remarkably similar idea. His idea was, you know, throw in with me, and it sounded like, okay, maybe we're on the right track here. Here's some skills that we can use together. Within a week, I was approached by another person that worked in the same music store, Bruce Ross. And Bruce's expertise that he brought to the table, he's got a BA in psychology. And confessed he didn't know which end of the screwdriver to use, but it was a neat dynamic. We started in '76, and we cut our teeth in the absolute worst possible market there is for steel strings. The folk scare had dissipated. You know, this is when Martin went absolutely berserk. You know, Kingston Trio, Peter, Paul, and Mary. And acoustic guitar was kind of getting a little eclipsed by other stuff. But we were doing something nobody else did.